Hi everyone, welcome to June's block of the month, mid-year. So this block is nice. I like it. When I got done sewing it, I thought, oh, that looks nice. So we're going to make that block this month. In your kit, you're going to get one dark green piece and two light green pieces, and this one light green piece is the width of the fabric, and then you have another small piece. From the dark green, you're going to cut out 4 2.5 by 2.5 pieces. The light green, you're going to cut 1.5 by 6.5. You're going to cut 4 of those, and then you're going to cut 4 5.5s by 5.5s. So you can cut almost all of them out of the one strip, but you need just this other little piece to get the last piece out of. I believe I cut my 6.5s first and then I switched to 5.5s, but I'm not sure if it matters which ones you cut first. Then you need to add your choice fabric. So this is my choice 1, which is green floral. You're going to need to cut 4 2 3/8 by 2 3/8, 4 2 1/2, 2 by 2 1/2, and 4 2 by 4s. Then your second choice, which is yellow for me, you need 4 1.5 by 1.5. And then you need to add your background. You need 4 2 3/8 by 2 3/8, 4 1.5s by 1.5s, 4, or you need 8 of those, I'm sorry, 4 2 by 2.5s, and 4 2 by 4s. So after you get done cutting all your fabric out, it's time to start making your pieces. And the first thing we're going to do is make half square triangles. So you need to take your choice 1 2 3/8 and a background 2 3/8. So you can draw a line down the center of it and then draw a 1/4 inch on both sides of the line, and you're going to sew not on the line, but you're going to sew a little bit next to the line. So hopefully you can see that this time. There's my line, and I came just to the inside of it and I sewed my line. And you do that so when you fold the fabric open, you get a nice piece. So we're just going to cut this in half. Whoop. And then you would press that open. I'm just going to finger press it for you. And you're going to trim these to 2.5 by 2.5. So I'll do a quick finger press. And really this, because we're doing it almost exactly, if you have a square, you should put your diagonal line right on your piece. So you're going to go ahead and trim that piece to exactly 2 inch by 2 inch. So I'm going to do a little bit of trimming here, and I'm going to turn my piece. So you're going to go ahead and cut all your half square triangles, all 8 of them, 2 by 2. And if you start out with nice square, half square triangles, you're ahead of the game. Next thing we're going to do is the stitch and flip method. So we're going to take a 6.5 inch piece of light green, and we're going to sew on the background. I'm going to turn it around so it's facing the way that you would see it. The background piece on this side and the your choice 2 on this side. And again, you want to stitch not directly on the line, but you want to stitch just a little bit to the corner. And the reason you do this is because when you fold it back, this one I stitched a little bit to the corner, and you can see when I fold that open, it covered all the fabric. This one I stitched right on the line, and you can see that there's this little edge here. I didn't cover all that fabric. So when I go to measure that, it's not going to be 6.5 inches, which is the goal. It should be 1.5 by 6.5. And you can see, I don't know if you can see, but I'm almost 1/8 off when I folded this top piece back. So that's the reason that you don't stitch directly on the line. You stitch a little bit off the line. You're going to make 2 just like this. And then you're going to make 2 more where you're going to just reverse your squares. I'm going to take my background fabric and sew it on this side, and I'm going to take my Your Choice 2 fabric and sew it on this side. And you're going to make 2 of those. So you'll have 4 of these pieces total, 2 with the fabric switched around. Then we're going to move to the 5.5 piece, light green, and a 1.5 inch square background piece. And again, you can see there's the line, and I sewed just to this outside of the line. So when I fold this back, I cover everything up. I can't see any of the fabric underneath. And when I do that, I should measure 5.5. Yep, so I'm going to measure 5.5 exactly, which is what we want. So again, I'm going to trim my 1/4 inch off. And I'm going to make 2 of these. Actually, I'm not going to trim it off because I want to show you how this one's a little different. I'm going to make 2 of these with the diagonal going in that direction. And then I'm going to make 2 more with the diagonals going like that. So you can see 2 of them are going to be made going this way, and 2 of them are going to be made going that way. So I would make 2 more going in that direction. So again, the trim for this is measuring 1/4 and just chopping it off. After we do that, we're going to move to making a piece. We're going to use our dark green 2.5 by 2.5 pieces. We're going to sew a background 2.5 by 2 inch piece. Then we're going to go ahead and add the 2 by 4 background. So I would just sew that together and fold it open. You're going to make 4 of those pieces. Then we're going to take our 2.5 by 2 Your Choice 1, and we're going to add one of our half square triangles to it. So I'm going to sew those 2 pieces together, and I'm going to make 4 of those. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my 4 inch by 2 inch Your Choice, and I'm going to sew my half squares on like that. Just make sure that you're consciously following the directions and following the patterns of which way to go. At this point, my hint to you is to actually build your block with all the pieces, because it's time to assemble the block. I can't tell you how many times I ripped out a seam because I didn't have things going in the right direction. So at this point, you just want to be very conscious of how you build your blocks. If you follow the pattern, you're going to make 2 that look just like this, and you're going to make 2 that look just like that. They use all the same pieces, they just go in different directions. So then all you have to do is, once that you have your 4 blocks, is assemble them so that all the little Your Choice 2 fabrics make that nice little diamond in the center. And that's it. You're done the block. So if you have any questions, we are open. I am here always Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If you need to come and see me at a different time or you want to talk to me at a different time, you can always contact the store and they can get in touch with me. I hope you enjoyed this block, and we're getting down towards the end. I think starting next month, we're on the 4-month countdown. So if you have any questions, give me a call. If not, I'll see you next month.